Let's journal today. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Nikki and I wear many hats and I am enthusiastic about journaling, which is why we are going to talk about journaling today. So every single month, except December last year, every single month of the year we come together and we have a little journaling sesh. So what happens in this is I show you what I have done for my setup for the month, and we just talk about basically ideas and just exchange information around journaling. So this video is no different and we are going to get right into it. As usual, these videos are usually brought to you by the printable at justike.com. You need to check April, how April looks like. If it's something you're interested in, definitely check it out. So this is literally, I think, the shortest monthly spread I've ever had. So I've never taken you behind the scenes, which I should at some point. But when I'm preparing these kinds of videos, I usually have maybe 2 or 3 planning sessions before that. So what happens is I look for a theme that I want to do, and then I do look for inspiration and also have sessions, at least 2 sessions, where I sketch out everything in pencil before we come and ink it on this video. Now this month, however, I almost did not do it because I have a lot of life going on right now and I'm pretty stressed. So I wanted something that's pretty simple and something that I could do really quickly. So this is technically the shortest spread I've ever done. It took me under 2 hours to set up pencil and ink and just come up with the whole concept. This month the idea was something very minimal because life has a way of lifing and I'm pretty stressed and I wanted something that was really quick. I almost did not do this setup because there's a lot of things just going on. So, but we did it, so that's nice. And I just wanted a setup that was minimal, easily reproducible, and I wanted to experience my blue brush pens, which are pretty new. I got some pens from Miniso and some pens in my sets that I got from Tombow. So that is what I'm going to put to test and sort of experience in this video. So let's get into April. So for the title page, I just drew this really big leaf pattern. It's literally like a compound leaf. God, I'm going into biology, which I did not intend to, but it's a big compound leaf and I just wrote the words April there. I decided to give it a little bit of a shadow and just give it a little 3D effect so that it looks like I really put some work into it, even if this page literally took me maybe 5 minutes to do to the end. And then I finished off with some washi tape. I got this washi tape from Miniso. It was the second pack of washi tapes that I had and I really struggled to use them, but I found a really nice way to use them here. Then we go to the quote page. So the quote page is usually a representation of the mantra that I have for the month, and it's usually something that's relevant to me. So I found this really beautiful quote page. I found this really beautiful quote on the internet, and it says, "Be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year." This quote really speaks to me because I found myself in the recent times really needing to remind myself to trust the process, especially because I feel like stuff is not moving the way I want it to move. And there's so many hurdles that are coming along the way that I didn't see, and just doors literally being locked. And so I just wanted to remind myself to be patient with myself, and that's where the quote comes. I finished the page with a little border that I made out of washi tape. I was looking for washi tape that's closer to blue and I think I had some washi tape, but I couldn't find it, so I decided to go with this more neutral shape, and that's how it turned out. So next, of course, is my calendar, which is fast becoming the most important part of my journal. So this is where I plan everything. I've said that 1,000,001 times. This time I went for a simple grid calendar, just your normal calendar. I like to divide parts of the page into, one page carries 4 days, the other one carries 3, and I finished it off with the little leaf doodle. As well, I decided to add the growth tracker later, but it's something I debated on whether I should keep or not, just because my mental space right now is not ready to deal with analytics, and there's that. So I decided to just include it, even if I might not use it later, I guess. Then I have my mood tracker. My mood tracker is a leaf. This time we have mood leaves. The way we always have mood something, so this time we have mood leaves. And it's been a really interesting and useful tool to track my moods and to basically just have an overview of how my mental state fared on in the month. I've really been loving my mood tracker, and it's that one thing that I actually usually feel to completion, that and my habit tracker. So I just really drew leaf doodles that I'm going to fill with whatever color of emotion that I'm feeling that day. Then I went with my habit tracker. My habit tracker, this time we have 6 habits. I think I'm really loving the 6 habit thing, and I wrote down the things that I really want to accomplish. The really 6 main habits that I want to really keep track and monitor. Sometimes, like in the past 2 months, I've had habits that I never even touched, and I wonder why I put them there. But I guess it grows with time, and of course you never know how life works. But I want to monitor them and see how they go. So I changed the design of this a little bit, and this time I wanted to try out something new. So instead of putting boxes, I actually wrote days of the week, and I'm just gonna color in the day when I do the said habit that I want to track. I want to see how this method goes, because I just wanted to try something new. Also, I tried a little bit of different lettering up top there. I'm really liking how it looks like. I liked how it turned out. It was a struggle at first, but I really like how it turned out. Finished it up with washi tape, and we're on to the next one. So my next page is my gratitude log. So my gratitude log is just normal. So last time I had 2 columns. This time I have 1. There's nothing so fancy schmancy, but I decided to have that effect of like an imprint of the leaves that are the theme of this month. I decided to have it just a faint outline, which was interesting to create, and to create an impression of, so that I can be able to see what I actually write on top of it. And I really like how it turned out. Last month I promised myself that I was going to fill my gratitude log. It's the most it has been in maybe the past 3 or 4 months, so I'm really loving it. And then my April goals. So in March I had a goals page, and I didn't actually fill. I filled, I think, 2 goals, 2 categories. I don't know, somehow March just really quickly passed me by. And April, this time I was very intentional. Immediately I finished inking this, I actually wrote down my goals. And again, as usual, four sections addressing different aspects of my life. And I really like how simple and how minimal this is. Then I skipped the brain dump. Usually I have the brain dump, but I've had 2 consecutive months of my brain dump being empty, so that can tell you where I am creatively. So I decided to skip that this month, but in case I need it, I'm going to just add it later on. Maybe we're going to do a fun spread thing on Instagram, which you should follow, just a journal. Yep. But I decided to skip that, and then I finally have my weekly spread. So I intended to write 04 to mean April, but I don't know, I was still in the mood and the madness or the magic of March. I found myself, I just wrote March here, but that's okay. So I set up my week. It's a very simple weekly setup. I've never done this, so usually I do 2 columns, 2 rows, or rows only. So this time I decided to do two rows and 6 columns, so across the 2 pages. I really like how the setup actually looks like, and I just love how simple it is and how simple it's going to be to reproduce it. So I've started this thing where I change up or I switch up my weekly spread, but depending on how I feel, I may just replicate what I have already. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm just exercising my creative freedom at this point. So I did the columns quickly, used different shades of blue, and then finished off with my imprint of the leaves. And basically that's how April was done. So now, before we actually wind up and see how everything comes together, I want to show you the pens that I used, so maybe we can make this a thing. These are the pens I used. They are different shades of blue across the sets of pens that I have and the others that I have bought individually. Now I'm going to swatch them for you so that you see, but I have pens from the Tombow dual brush pen. I have number 452, number 451, number 443, and I used a gray, which is N55, and those were the sets from the Tombow. Then I did pick up a Colorella Star. This does not, it's a Colorella twin actually from Pelikan. This does not give color numbers or color names, but it's a dual brush, it's a dual pen as well. This is a thick nib and a thinner nib, but different colors, and I used the top color. Then I used the Miniso Aquarelle brush pens. So if you're in Kenya, Miniso is a fairly affordable brand to buy. This pens cost 100 shillings in their stores, so it's a good place to start. The nib is not the best, the control is not the best as well, but they still have a bunch of colors and they sell individually, so you can buy colors that you want. So this I used number 27 and number 28, which are the colors that I had. Then I used this brush pen from Zebra. So Zebra highlighters have they have chisel tip pens and they have brush pens. So I use this brush pens. It's the light blue color. I'm going to swatch it as well. And then some gray or whitish color, which is number 25 from Miniso. And those are the pens that I used. The rest of the things and the rest of my stationery I'm going to link below, but those are the pens that I used. And that's where I got my Tombow from Amazon, and that's the stationery that I use basically. So I want to quickly show you how my monthly spread turned out, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. For now, it's a bye from me.